Hello for the sixth Sunday after Easter. And the title of this morning's talk is The Problems with the Roman Catholic Church. Well, I'm using the two readings, Acts of the Apostles, chapter 15, verses 1 and 2, and verses 22 to 29. And then John's Gospel 14, 23 to 29. What problems does today's church have with our new Pope? Well, last weekend we were so overjoyed and enthusiastic, I think, at least most of us, as far as with the new Pope. And the new Pope brings fresh air, new ideas, and old problems. What do you think he can do to help change the church come to fruition and in sooner or later the kingdom of God? Well, I thought of this and then I thought, what do I think are the real problems? So I'm asking myself that question. I'm asking you, what do you think the real problems are? And so I did a little bit of investigation and I asked the people at Friday's noon mass, what do they think the problems are? I asked myself that problem, and I asked my girlfriend from the artificial intelligence, what does she think the problems are? Well, let me give you the answer of a few of those people or that artificial person. The first thing I asked in the noon mass on Saturday is, what do you think? And one lady said, I think the biggest problem is today there's so many young people leaving the church. In fact, before I had another mass before that over at Sayre Village Nursing Home, one lady said, would you please pray for my family and my children? And 2 out of the 3 have really ceased practicing. And then it came into the next mass that I had on Friday. The same thing as number 1. Well, that was her concern, and I think that really is a big concern. We're losing much or many of our youth. What do you think? And then somebody else said, as far as, well, we need to work together and not just be so divisive, like in a sense, politically in our country, our church very often is the same way. There's the conservatives and the liberals. And there's some of the College of Cardinals and the other group of College of Cardinals, and which one are for or against the Pope and so forth. So some type of unity in our authority. Authority is powerful and important. And so somehow I think our leaders, our people, need to come together better than we have been doing in the past. You know, we've had 267 now popes. You know, how long is it going to take to we get it all together? I keep on asking myself that same question. So unity. Another, women. This Pope needs to do something about women. Why can't, the way it was in the way back, we had women deacons? Yeah. Not allowed to have women deacons today. What about opening the priesthood to women, holy orders to women? Or what about the whole role of women in the church? I think that the Pope needs to do something about that. And then it goes on and on. And well, the sexual abuse problem has not been totally solved. Just millions of dollars have been given in the Diocese of New Orleans to the people who were abused. Is that taken care of? Well, there are so many problems. My concern is What do you think? Not just what I think, or not what artificial intelligence thinks. What are the real problems facing this Pope? Well, I don't have a good, well, I think I have a good answer, but I don't think it applies or works totally because it hasn't in many, many, many years. The only solution that I see in the world problems is at the end of last Sunday's gospel, the words of Jesus Christ. I give you a new commandment. Love one another as I have loved you. I think that's the only solution, and that's not just for Christians. It's not just for Roman Catholics. I think that's for everybody. Everybody. We will never solve our problems unless we take seriously that new commandment. And it's in today's gospel too. We have had this new commandment for ancient times. We seem not to do it. But I still think that's the only way. Okay, you can interpret it. It's God's way. I know only if we conform to the will of God will we solve our problems. I think if we try to do and conform with and be serious about trying to live the way Jesus is the only salvation of the problem. It's always good to have a new start. It's always good to have a good old Pope and feel happy about, I think we have a good new Pope. But the essence of our problems is not power. It's not warfare. It's not riches. It's getting along with one another. Starting with yourself, loving yourself. And if you love yourself, I'm serious. You have power to love the other person. And if you love yourself and love the other person, I guarantee you, you will be happier. And I guarantee you, you will understand a little bit better or a lot better who God is and what life is all about. It's all about living the way God made you. It's all about loving. It's all about forgiving. You know, those way, oh, love your neighbor as yourself, love the Lord your God with your whole mind, heart, and soul, and so forth. People, that's the only answer, at least my opinion. What do you really think the Pope has inherited, and what are the major problems in my family or in my church? Not only think about it, pray for the Pope, pray for the church, pray that we continue to work out the message of Jesus. Have a good day.